Bud Light, the official beer of NFL fans who do whatever it takes. Here we go.
From Buffalo Wild Wings, this is the Jeff Fisher Show, brought to you by Super Park, Spirit Toyota Scion, and Bud Light.
Welcome back to Buffalo Wild Wings, and we welcome in the Rams head coach, Jeff Fisher. Jeff, how are you tonight?
Okay. How are you guys?
Okay.
Yep.
We're okay. Was it enlightening watching film? I mean, I know you learned so many things that, when you talk to us on Sundays, it's gut reaction.
Yeah,
now you get to study it.
Yeah, you study it, you look at it, and you know what? It's
what hits you about it after watching
the
film?
second quarter. When you talk about, you want to keep the listeners apprised of what's going on?
That's base hit by the Cardinals being cheered, not the second quarter of the Rams yesterday.
I didn't see anything fun about the second quarter yesterday.
No, correct.
So what happens, you like to get touchdowns in the first quarter, those two big plays. We didn't. We settled. But we got points on the opening drive, which is good. And then second quarter starts, and we're up 6-0. And when the second quarter's over, we've had 7 penalties. We've turned the ball over inside the 30-yard line, on the 25-yard line, on the kickoff return, and we missed 2 field goals. So that's hard to overcome, just that in a quarter. So, the penalties, just random penalties. Yeah, a couple should have been called, but they were called. And so with that being said, it's 10-6 at halftime. And good stuff going on here. Ouch.
Looks like he's hurt. Yeah.
So that's the issue, and a lot of great plays, a lot of great individual efforts. I mean, how about the catch? Catch on the sideline, and just a lot of good stuff, but not enough. Just someone needed to make a play, and the way the ball bounced was just classic. When Zuerlein hits Tannehill in the back, and the ball squirts out and goes out of bounds for a 17-yard loss. Normally, that's a scoop and score deal, and you walk.
Right.
Or at least you get possession.
Or right there. I mean, we said the same thing. Like, why can't the ball just be dead right there and you can pick it up or fall on it?
Yeah.
Just not to harp on the negative with Brandon Gibson, because we said the same thing. His first pass reception or opportunity puts it on the deck. It's an easy catch, but it's the NFL. Nothing's easy. And then he goes out and makes the miraculous.
Yeah.
How do you get him to do it consistently?
Well, he's not dropped any balls other than that one, and that's unfortunate because that's a red zone, a money zone play like we call it. That's a first down catch, and who knows? It's 3 more shots at the end zone. Comes back and has 7 catches or whatever, and not easy catches. And so he's been consistent, and that's the one thing about this team. We haven't had a lot of drops. Drops can, they had some drops yesterday. Drops can they can kill a team, especially if they're on the defensive side of the ball. But we haven't had a lot of drops. The guys do a good job with their bodies and focusing, concentrating. And so, but it was kind of what happened to Brandon yesterday. It was kind of paraphrased the team. Everybody plays 50, 60 plays. They all have, grade out well, and 59 of them, but have one bad play. Well, one bad play across the board can create problems for you, and that's what you point out in losses, and that's what we'll have to do tomorrow.
You had some explosive plays. You had the second play from scrimmage. Richardson goes for 44. He had the big pass play to Givens. I thought one of the things we didn't talk about in the first segment was how good Sam has become at play action. He had us fooled. He had everybody in the field fooled. But the red zone, 1 for 3 in the red zone. How do you become a better red zone offense?
Well, you either stay out of the red zone, score from outside, or if you get in there, you've got to find a way to get touchdowns. It took us a fourth down attempt to get the first touchdown yesterday, and sometimes you have to do that. But and it's things that we work on, and believe me, I've never been associated with a team that spends more time down there than our offense. I mean, Coach Shoddy is adamant about that. So we're just going to continue to work. And the other thing that's going to happen, I think, is, we sat out last week and said, we have to run the football and we have to stop the run. This is the #1 rated defense in the National Football League against the run. We ran for 160-some yards against them, and we stopped the run. Well, you just brought up the play action. Well, that's why those things work when you start running the football. Well, that carries over. If you start running the football, that'll carry over into your red zone efficiency also.
Yeah, I think your first 3 first down plays were run. The fourth one was the play action. Givens is open. I love the fact that not only has Givens been getting behind guys and catching the ball, Sam has been extremely accurate with the deep ball right now.
Yeah, he's a great deep ball thrower. He always has been. And so, get your legs underneath you, get him some time. He can put it where it needs to be put. I have a trivia question for you.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Chris Givens has, in 3 consecutive games, had a reception of over 50 yards or more. Who was the last rookie receiver to do that?
I have to excuse myself from this because I already know the answer.
You know the answer.
I do know
you
the
heard
answer.
the answer.
We talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
You talked about in the fast lane?
Yes,
today?
we did.
Yeah.
How far back do I have to go?
I threw it out there pretty far, back to where back when I had a helmet on.
Think very fast.
Well,
Olympic fast.
Willie Gall.
Yep.
Well, I was going to say before you said Olympic because when I had a helmet, I was going to say Willie Gall.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I stand there watching it.
Was he fun to cover? I guess he was a lot of
No,
fun to
he
cover in
wasn't.
practice. Wasn't he, for Jeff Fisher? That was
He
fun,
was
wasn't
fun to grab. Grab it.
The other thing, you mentioned the penalties. Sometimes they come in bunches. That was uncharacteristic for your team yesterday. 12 total, but 8 in the first half.
Yeah, 7 in the second quarter.
So what do you say to your team about it? Or do
Well,
you just chalk it up to an anomaly and just say?
Yeah, you can't have. No, come on.
Well,
Chris's penalty number 1.
We're going to do a whole segment on that, Coach.
So you go.
We're going to do a whole segment on that.
Then one of the blocks in the back was a side block, and I can. The DPI was kind of iffy. I don't really need to see that call, but they're going to make mistakes too. We always say that, but the hands to the face and then the hold here, and it was almost as if a memo went out to them, and they said, okay, we need to start policing hands to the face.
5 calls yesterday, which is most unusual.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a game where they call it 5 times?
No.
I mean, a couple times is a lot, right?
Yeah. So we'll do the research and find out if that fact was the case.
Yeah, we had Sergeant Ram 1961 on Twitter saying if Chris Long was flagged for his helmet bump, why wasn't Dansby flagged? We're going to talk to you about, I don't want to just focus on the one play, but DeMarco said it best yesterday. That penalty, that call is not about player safety. Common sense will tell you that's not about player safety. You've been on the competition committee. How do you go about affecting change?
Well, we did. We did that 2 years ago. We said that's not a foul. Brushing the quarterback's helmet.
That's right. You did do that.
It should not be called. There's got to be a twist, a turn, a torque, or a big reaction. I've always said, well, is it career threatening or not?
Right. Player safety.
Yeah, it's player safety. That does not involve player safety.
And what's interesting about Chris Long, and we've talked about this from the day he came into the league, the guy is as good for as fierce a pass rusher, and as often as he's in, he's as good as anybody at pulling off, not taking the penalty. I don't remember a 15-yarder on him in the pocket.
Yeah. No. So unfortunate, but those things are going to happen. But you can't. Yeah, it's hard to overcome that many penalties. We did. We overcame that. We had a sack the very next play. So you can overcome some, but getting pinned in the field position game because of a penalty or 2 on special teams is not good.
Well, can you talk to me about the deep ball that got over the head of Janoris Jenkins and what happened? From our perspective, it looked like he got caught looking and they got it behind him.
Yeah.
What did you see on film today?
Yeah. I didn't need to see the film. We knew what happened. It's technical. He's a really smart kid, okay? He understands formations, splits, and all that stuff. And this formation that they were in, where the receivers have dropped down their splits a little bit. They've been running a lot of speed out cuts. And so it's almost like a 3-step speed out cut out of shotgun. And so he was anticipating that. And so he was sitting there getting ready to drive it, but he had his eyes in the backfield looking for the quarterback, and the quarterback didn't throw it. He got caught, froze, and they went by him. So a rookie mistake by a good rookie player, and I want to call it a mental mistake, but most guys that come in the league with his experience wouldn't even recognize the formation and been able to anticipate that throw. He's going to, it's that Ronnie Lott said this real early in his career. He said, if you guess right, you're in the Pro Bowl, and you guess wrong, you're in the streets. And he said, you got to be right most of the time. And he was. And the point about it is Janoris will be right most of the time.
It's kind of like guessing the snap count as a D tackle, right?
Yeah, if you guess wrong, you're offsides.
Yeah, that's
if you guess right, you're on TV. But that's one of those things. You don't want to take away those instincts. People want to say that's a gambler mentality, but that's not what it is. That's good football instinct.
It is, and it's exactly, it's that type of thing that you cannot afford to do in a close game. You cannot afford to do that. You know, we could have a different coverage deployed and had help over top, and that thing never would have happened.
Let's head to the phone lines and welcome in Tim. Tim, you're first up with head coach Jeff Fisher. Welcome.
Thank you, guys. Coach Fish, thank you for choosing my city to coach my Rams. I love that you're here. I'm excited. I was wondering, what is your strategy going into next week with Green Bay, considering the showing that they just dismantled on the Houston Texans this week, one of the best defenses this week? Thank you.
Well, we're going to be challenged, there's no doubt. We're going to take a hard look at what the Texans did and why, and then take a hard look at, obviously the other games and some of those games where Aaron was not as effective. But the one thing we do know is that it's absolutely critical that we get pass rush and pressure on them. We found out what happens in Seattle when Seattle did. So we've got to be able to do that. But my suspicion is that there was a lot of time to throw, and there was a lot of man-to-man coverage, and he made some really good throws. So you just got to try to get him off. The problem is you try to get him off the timing, and he just does such a good job extending plays with his legs and running around and finding people open. So we're going to have to keep him contained in the pocket and, try to confuse him a little bit.
Is that his gift? Buying time with his legs?
Yeah. He's extending plays. He's really good at it.
How about the quick release? Everybody talks about the quick release.
Balls out, but he's just so accurate. He's just so accurate. He really is. But Sam's good. Sam's accurate too. I mean, and it was really good to see some of Sam's throws. But and Sam will, he'll have the success that Aaron has from an accuracy standpoint, particularly because they're both tall and they can see, But Aaron right now is really throwing the ball well.
How about Sam's ability to recognize an opportunity to get out of the pocket? I think he had more than 30 yards rushing, 21 yards. I mean, that extends drives. That Marco was talking about. It's demoralizing for a defense.
Oh, it is. It's people think of Sam as a pocket passer.
Right.
So they say, okay, well, let's just play man-to-man, and we'll cover the guys, and we'll run around all over the field with them. Well, when Sam sees their backs turned covering, he just chases them down the field. And that will get people out of man-to-man coverage, put them into zone, and then clear things up for them. So, yeah, it was a good thing that he did yesterday, and it will help us down the road as far as us not being forced to attack a couple man-to-man coverages, which are difficult to attack.
Our phone number is 969-0101, 618-399-0101, or hit us on Twitter at Rams Radio. We're back in a moment with the Jeff Fisher Show, brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, Super Park, and Spirit Toyota on 101 ESPN and the St. Louis Rams Radio Network.
101 ESPN talk sports all day, every day. St. Louisans are the best sports fans in the world, and 101 ESPN brings all the passion and pride to the coverage you deserve. Mike and Mike every weekday morning. Zach and the Coach from 9 to 11. The godfather of St. Louis sports, Bernie Miklasz from 11 to 2. The Fast Lane from 2 to 6. Then Stully and Rammer with baseball postseason action. 101 ESPN, St. Louis's sports station.
Welcome back to Buffalo Wild Wings. This is the Jeff Fisher Show. We're here every Monday night from 7 to 8 here in Creve Coeur. I do want to mention one programming note. We will not be with you next week. Rams are playing in London. The team will be on the way across the pond, as they say, to go take on the Patriots. We'll be back with you in 2 weeks. It's on the 30th. That'll be a Tuesday night, the 30th, following the game against the New England Patriots. Let's go to Tom in Park Hills. Tom, your question or comment for Jeff Fisher?
Hi, Coach Fisher. My question is, first, I think your offensive line is doing a really good job considering all the problems you've had. And I think Wayne Hunter's been actually remarkable. I was kind of wondering about Roger Saffold, though, and how he's doing and what's going to happen when he comes back, or will it screw up the continuity in the line if you put him back over at left tackle? That's it.
Yeah, he's doing better. He's getting closer, and that's the one thing about the team right now is, fortunately, we came through the game really, really good from an injury standpoint. So I look at it from this standpoint. We're healing up, and that is also the case with Scott Wells. But when Raj comes back, he'll when he's able and he's back to normal, he'll become the starter once again. He's a good left tackle, and but as you say, Wayne's done a great job, coming in there and filling in for him. So, and when that's going to be, I really can't say. It's going to take some time, but he is making significant progress with his rehab.
Speaking of injuries for 1 second, Sam Bradford, when he scored the rushing touchdown, got bent almost in half by Carlos Dansby. We were talking about the rule and why it was going to get replayed. Every scoring play gets replayed. The rule is once the ball crosses the white line, touchdown, end of story, no
Correct.
fumble.
Correct. As long as you have possession of the ball, once it crosses the line, then it's a touchdown and plays over.
Let's talk about another rule, the tuck rule. Okay. A sack and fumble was overturned of Sam Bradford on the tuck rule.
I'm a proponent of the tuck rule.
Well, that was my question. If I asked you next week, were you on the competition committee 10 years ago after the Patriots? You were.
Yes.
In the 2001 playoff game in the snow.
That's my first year on the committee.
First year.
2000. Yeah.
It's a confusing rule for a lot of people in and outside of the NFL. Okay. The genesis behind it, is it a good rule? Does it accomplish what it's supposed to accomplish?
Yeah, I think it does. Again, you're talking about pass or fumble, okay, and you're not talking about player safety per se, but basically the rule is this: if the quarterback starts a throwing motion and then he aborts it and tries to pull the ball back to his body, if he loses that ball at any point when he's bringing it back to his body, that's considered to be an incomplete pass. Now, if he completes the tuck and does an act associated with the game and loses the ball, then it's a fumble. So once he starts forward and then tries to, keep from not throwing the football, and that ball comes out, it's an incomplete pass. Because the arm is moving forward. That's the issue.
Let me play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Isn't that escape for a quarterback under a pass rush? And never mind what happened yesterday.
Is he going to do it on purpose to avoid a sack?
Yes.
Possibly, but you know what? That's a difficult thing to do because you don't know when that ball is going to come out. So, but that's the rule. That's the way it is, and that's the way it's been.
All right.
Hasn't come up. It hasn't come up.
Doesn't come up very often.
Not often.
Yeah.
No,
not very often. All right. Let's go to Sedalia and welcome in Dale. Hi, Dale.
Hi, guys. How are you all doing tonight?
Great. Thank you.
Coach, I have a question. You can settle an argument between me and a friend of mine. I was arguing that the home team gets to decide what jersey, whether dark or light jerseys at every game, and he doesn't agree with that. So which is it, or how is that determined?
Yeah, the home team gets to determine what color jerseys, whether they're going to go dark or light. Yes, every home team gets to determine that. The Dolphins' philosophy, as is the case with some of the other teams, or warm weather teams where heat is an issue, is to stay in white and make the opponent come in the dark jerseys because they say it's an advantage. I don't feel like it was much of an advantage to us.
Do you think the heat played any factor yesterday?
No, I don't think so. I think the guys were fine.
Overcast enough and the breeze was blowing a little bit?
Yeah, it was. The breeze was blowing. Yeah, the breeze was another story, but yeah, it was overcast and no, it was not a problem.
I have never seen, I got to tell you, I had to do the math. I have never seen a field goal attempt from that part of the football field at the end of the game. We figured out it was 66 before he launched it. Take me through the process, because it dawned on me when the clock started running at 30 and you walked out to the official. I knew exactly what you're doing. You're going to bleed it and go for there instead of going 4th and 7. Take me through that process and why you made that decision.
Well, I had already made the decision that if the ball was incomplete on 3rd down, that we were going to attempt the field goal, okay, because that would have been about 61-yard or 62-yard. We needed a field goal, okay? We needed a touchdown, but at that point we needed a field goal. So the odds of converting a 4th, what if we go for it on 4th and 7 and the ball's incomplete? Game's over. We don't even get a chance to kick the field goal. And the odds of converting the 4th and 7 are not as good. He had the wind at his back. I intentionally gave them the win in the third quarter, take it in the fourth quarter. We know he has the leg to do it. And at that point, it was a no-brainer for me. I'm going to give Greg a chance to tie this game. And
you had Baronis in Tennessee, so
yes.
Maybe you've gone through similar. This kid had a great leg. Has a great leg down there too.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe not 66.
I had
but
a 60. We had a 60 out of Baronis and beat the Colts at home. But the wind was behind him, and it was swirling. And to me, it was the only decision that you make. Because if we would have gone for it on 4th and 7 and gotten 6. You'd have been asking me right now, why didn't you give the kid a chance to take the field goal?
Why don't you use your great weapon, your field goal?
And so what we've said all along is he's going to have a chance. He'll make that. He'll have a chance to set the record because he's got the leg to do it. But to put yourself in that scenario is hard. When do you want to do that? You don't want to, other than right before half, but you don't want to risk missing that long field goal and then give him field position to your opponent. So, it's too bad. I feel bad for him. It was the right decision. Who knows what would have happened had he made it, and we'd have gotten to overtime and won that game.
Well, tell me something. We had a quick discussion about it, that missing that field goal could, what did they say, it could hurt the kid, or he'll be shot at, he'll be ruined. No. I thought the fact that you gave him a shot was a boost.
Well, this he didn't miss it. I did, okay? Because that technically is out of his range, all right? His range is, come on, let's be realistic now. His range, he's got great range and a great leg. But if he's hitting from 45 or he's hitting from 48 or 37 and he misses it, he missed it, okay? This was, come on, go get this one. This one's on me, okay?
Yeah. Of course, he hits the net.
I know he did.
He hits the net.
He had plenty. He told you he's got plenty. So that was on me.
All right, let's welcome in Virginia. She's here at Buffalo Wild Wings. You have got a question for the head coach. Hi, Virginia. You got a round of applause here.
Who's the most difficult team in your division and why?
Well, they're all difficult right now. The other 3 teams are 4-2 right now, but I guess if you had to pick one, you'd probably have to say the 49ers because of what they represented last year and off to a good start. But ask me after the 49er game because I haven't played them yet. So.
Let's go to Jeff from Jerseyville. Jeff, you're on with head coach Jeff Fisher.
Hey, how you doing, Coach?
Doing good, Jeff. How are you?
Wonderful. I was just curious, after seeing what Green Bay did to a great Houston defense, obviously they're going to spread you guys out on the offensive side of the ball. I'm just curious, obviously you can't give away too much, but, how do you go about defending a spread offense like that?
Well, you're going to have to give Aaron an ever-changing look if possible, and we're going to have to pressure him and just kind of try to limit the time he has to get the ball off, but be smart about it because he's so accurate. Even when you're pressuring him, you're blitzing him, he's very accurate. So, and then he changes the play, max protects, and takes a shot deep. All those things. So we'll by the end of the week we'll have a good game plan, and the players have a good feel for it.
How special is their offensive skill set?
It's really talented. With it starts with him. And then of course you've got the tight ends, but you got receivers that just can just run and catch and just out of frame. That's what and just make tough catches week after week.
We will take a break, come right back. Welcome your phone calls, 969-0101 or 618-399-0101. Hit us at Twitter at Rams Radio. This is the Jeff Fisher Show. It's brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, Super Park and Spirit Toyota on 101 ESPN and the St. Louis Rams Radio Network.
Very superstitious, writings on the wall. When you believe in things that you don't understand and you suffer, superstition ain't the way.
Bud Light, the official beer of NFL fans who do whatever it takes. Here we go.
We're back on the Jeff Fisher Show at Buffalo Wild Wings in Creve Coeur and Olive Boulevard. Here every Monday night from 7 to 8. We'll take your phone calls, 969-0101, 618-399-0101. Or you can hit us up on Twitter at Rams Radio. Jeff, you have played 40% of your schedule, 6 games in. What do you like best about this football team?
A lot of things. Just I like the energy and the enthusiasm. and the attitude and the professional way they approach meeting and practice. And in addition to that, their confidence in being successful play after play after play. And so they've really have taken advantage of the opportunities that have been given to them to come together as a team. And 3 phases are working well together. So I'm pleased with where things are. I'm not pleased with the 3-3 record, but pleased with the intangible things that are so hard oftentimes to acquire and to establish.
I think we talked about it. It seems like they're having fun playing football.
They are having fun.
Yeah.
They have fun at practice.
I know. Oh, yeah, they have fun. They focus and have fun, yeah.
Do you find among the intangibles, do you have a veteran leadership presence?
Oh, there is, yeah. There's a good group. Obviously Jack and James and Chris, and guys have a great deal of respect for Britt. Those are the captains, and then Mario Hagens and Cortland, and yeah, it's a good group.
What's most surprised you at this point?
I don't think I'm surprised at much. I'm probably a little bit more disappointed for them in that they played well at Detroit and they played well yesterday, and we need to go get a road win. Pleased with the rookie production. When you talk about what we're getting from the rooks, from Gibbons and Richardson and Jenkins and the rest of the group. It's a productive group.
You had, if I had told you yesterday you'd win the time of possession battle by 5.5, you held them to 19 rushing yards on 18 attempts. Reggie Bush, pretty good football player.
Good player. We tackled well.
Yeah, you did. I mean, I really thought but you've been physical. This football team's been physical from the start. But being physical and being a great tackling team, sometimes it doesn't always jive.
That's right.
You guys seem to be getting better as a group tackling week to week.
Well, when you go to the football as hard as we are on defense, then you can't help but tackle well. And that's the thing. And that's a challenge to keep that up over a 16 or 17-week season. You have to maintain that. And that's going to be, prerequisite going into this game this weekend is our ability to tackle, minimize gains. It's a smart group on defense. We're getting good pressure. Big number 9, he's getting better.
Is he?
Yeah, he's getting better.
He's ascending?
Yeah.
What's he doing well?
Using his hands, keeping his feet going, playing on the right side of blocks.
Taking up space?
Taking up
occupying
space,
blockers?
pushing the pocket. Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Becoming a pro.
Sorry?
Becoming a pro.
Yes.
Hey, I don't know what's going on their side. I only know half of what's going on this side, but Brian Hartline went into the game as the number 1 receiver, not 1 target.
Yeah, I think he did. He had 1 drop, I think, but that was it was the roughing the passer penalty on Chris that he dropped, and so therefore it wasn't reflected in the statistics. But yeah, they had a good day against Arizona. He had a big day, and we went in with the thought process that we're not going to give him a lot of time. Maybe he'll throw the ball quick. I had a pretty good idea of when they were going to throw it and when they were going to run it, and that certainly helps. When you can load it up, when the run's coming, they're not checking out of the run to pass, as opposed to going run check from one side to the other, and that's fine with us. But guys did a good job covering. The safety play was good. It's just a good overall defensive effort.
The guy that I'm really intrigued by, and the guy that amuses me, and I like watching him play, and he's added a lot to your defense, is Jolon Dunbar.
Yes, he is.
He is. He's not shy.
He's feisty. He'll voice his opinion.
Yes, he does. He talks a little bit. But you know what? There's some guys, and you play with guys like this, DeMarco, you did. He's a guy that when he arrives, he plays bigger than he really is.
Yeah. Arrives, we say, go to the ball as hard as you can, and when you get there, arrive upset, I guess.
Yeah, he has bad intentions when he arrives, right?
Yes. That play, that tackle where Reggie, now how about Reggie? He knows he needs the first down. He bounces outside, goes up to try to get the first down. Court goes through the legs to spin him, and Joe Lawn takes him over and down and keeps him short first down. I mean, he's very, very.
And they got you the ball back eventually. Yeah. I mean, they did have a fake punt.
Yeah.
But all right, let's turn things over to Janice here, who's of Buffalo Wild Wings. Janice, your question or comment for head coach?
My question is, it was announced today that Ray Lewis is out for the season. What do you think of his career?
Well, it's a good question. Ray's had an outstanding career. I still remember this day interviewing him at the Combine and listening to him out of the University of Miami. And Ray was half the size then than he is now, but he's just had a great career. And I've been on the other sideline of some great battles between he and some of the offensive players, namely Eddie George and those guys. But Ray's had a great career, and just hope for his sake that he'll be able to get past this injury and come back and play again.
You were a head coach. I'm trying to do the math here. You were probably fairly early in your time as head coach in Tennessee, right? 3 or 4 years in, maybe. 17 years, I think Lewis has played. So,
yeah, no, we played Ray when we were the Tennessee Oilers.
Wow.
Forgot about the Tennessee.
Wow.
By the well, it's
what?
No, the Miami Dolphins. They ripped off the Houston Oilers song. Miami Dolphins #1. You heard? You're probably busy yesterday.
Yeah, I did. I wasn't paying attention.
No, I know you weren't. We were. Yeah, during the breaks. Let's go to Johnny from Southeast Missouri. Johnny, you're on with the Rams head coach Jeff Fisher.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing today?
Doing good.
Hey, I got a question. What happened to Isaiah Pete? He was starting, but now he's not. Richard took over. Is there something going on? And what's up with Quicks? He's not playing very much. Can you let me know?
Yeah, well, no, actually, Jack was starting, and we gave both Daryl and Isaiah opportunities to do things in the preseason, and then if you recall, Daryl busted a couple big runs and started. He just had a little edge in the offense over Isaiah. Isaiah's going to be a good player for us, but it's hard to get 3 people involved in the run game, offensively. It's hard enough, to do what we're doing now, although I believe it's the right thing, keeping Jack fresh, splitting the carries with Daryl and giving it that 1-2 punch. I hope that continues to work for us. But Isaiah will get his opportunity.
And he has been playing. I noticed one formation, it's shotgun, and you've got split backs with Isaiah and Steven. A lot of times on third down.
Yeah, so we'll get him out of the backfield, line him up. So he's coming along.
Let's welcome in Jerry from St. Louis. Jerry, your question or comment for Jeff Fisher?
Hey, Coach. All due respect, I need you to give me a sleeper team when you guys have your bye week for defense, and that's all I need.
Oh boy! So that means. Would that mean, because I'm not a big fantasy guy, does that mean he's picking our defense on fantasy, and when we're not playing, he wants another good defense?
I think that's what he's implying.
I don't know what he means.
Yeah, I think on the bye week he's got to go with some other defense.
I picked University of Alabama.
Oh, my God.
Wow. They're pretty good, huh? No, I don't know. I mean, defensively, gosh, everyone thought, wow, Houston's got it going. And then the one thing is, it depends on when Houston's bye week is. You can rest assured that Houston's going to play some defense next week.
They'll be angry next week, won't they?
Yeah, so my suggestion to caller is look and see who had an off week and go with them.
Is that perhaps the most impressive offensive performance of the year for the Green Bay Packers to go into Houston undefeated, playing the defense they do, and Aaron Rodgers throws 6 touchdown passes?
Yeah, and then have half of their defensive lineup go out. Green Bay lose half their defensive players and still have that kind of success. Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
I was going to say, speaking of Green Bay, we talk a lot about their offense. They have some parts on defense that can hurt you.
Yes.
Clay Matthews in particular.
Yes,
controlling a guy like that.
Well, not controlling him, but knowing where he's at all times because he lines up all over the map. He'll go rush off left side, right side, rush inside, and drop and cover. And so, yeah, he's a good player.
Charles Woodson's a Hall of Famer. He's long in the tooth. How's he playing? Is he still playing at a high level?
I got the tail end of it last night after we landed it, and because of the injuries, he was playing some outside linebacker. And that couldn't have been fun. The game was over, but
right.
So yeah, he's they moved him to safety. He's still really smart making plays. So.
I thought at his prime, he was one of the best two-way corners, and as far as cover corner and a guy that comes up and sticks his nose in there. Those guys they're not around every corner, are they?
There's a reason he won the Heisman, wasn't there?
Yeah.
He was a good football player.
You got 2 of those corners, though. Well, you got more than 2, but you got your 2 starters are
like
two-way guys.
Yeah, like they're going to tackle, and all 4 of them are going to tackle, and all 4 of them can cover, and so we like our depth there.
Kendricks, 4 catches. He's starting to become a bigger part of this offense.
He feels good, understands what we're doing. That throw, that that seam throw to Sam, there was a 6-inch window, and he put it right where he could. And
that's
so
a tough catch, too, right?
And Lance is running after the catch, which is good.
All right, what can we expect from the St. Louis Rams at high noon Sunday against the Green Bay Packers?
We need some help. You saw what happened to them in Seattle with the crowd noise. We need some help. So we've got to get things cranking in there and make it hard for Aaron to hear, make it hard for him to adjust and communicate. And so we need that 12th man in the worst way.
But your football team ought to be bright. This is exactly what you want, a challenge like this when you're playing and you're in your prime and you're playing football and you're full of testosterone. Hey, here come the Green Bay Packers. This is a chance for us to shine here on the home turf.
We'll be tested over the next 3-4 weeks. We already had a good one yesterday. We didn't pass that one, but we got to find a way to get this one this weekend.
Jeff, good luck. Thanks for the time.
Okay, always a pleasure, guys. Thank you.
We look forward to Sunday's game against the Green Bay Packers at high noon at the Edward Jones Dome. I want to thank Jeff Fisher. Thank you who called in. Listen, thank you for being here at Buffalo Wild Wings. We're here just about every Monday, back in 2 weeks on the 30th on a Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. Following the Patriots and Rams game in London. This is the Jeff Fisher Show, brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, Super Park, and Spirit Toyota on 101 ESPN and the St. Louis Rams Radio Network.